Hi guys, Hobby Horse Ralph here with a different kind of project, a different kind of video for my YouTube channel. As promised in the title, this is a free guitar lesson. And I'm doing it because I know that there's a lot of people out there that like the guitar, want to learn how to play. Maybe you've already tried some YouTube videos on how to play the guitar and you just can't get it. So I've shown quite a few people how to play, and I've had quite a bit of success with either the guitar, the piano, or the accordion. I play all three, and I don't know if it's my teaching style or method or what it is, but people do seem to learn. So here's the one free lesson. Let me first of all tell you what this lesson is not. It's not a deep dive into the theory of music. This is not to show you how to read music, for example. If you want to learn about notes and you know, things like that, bars and clefs, that's not what this is. That's not how I play. I don't know how to read music. I play by ear. And over the years, the more you practice, the more you develop your ear. If you're tone deaf, and you know you're tone deaf, then you're going to have trouble learning. But I've got a brother that's tone deaf, and he has learned how to play the guitar. So, as I said, now, the very first thing you need to know, if you're going to get a guitar, let's begin with the basics. This is an acoustic guitar. Has steel strings, has a cutaway neck, makes it easier if you're going to be playing down here, like a lead. And so, I have an acoustic. I also have a classical guitar. Classical guitar has nylon strings. A classical guitar is easier for learning because it's easier on your fingers, and you'll tend to practice it more. The steel strings, the more you practice, they will hurt. You'll get over the hump, but it takes time. Sometimes it could take months, depending on how much you practice, before your fingers kind of get calluses on them, and it stops hurting. I learned on an acoustic steel string guitar, but now that I know better, I tend to tell people, if you try or practice on the classical guitar, it's a little bit easier, and then switch over to an acoustic. Entirely up to you. Now, buying a guitar. Should you buy a really cheap guitar? Should you buy a really expensive guitar? Somewhere in the middle? What should you do? Depends. Let me say this. If you buy a really cheap guitar, it's basically a toy. And now you can learn on it. You can give me a very cheap guitar. Not that this is a cheap guitar, but I'm saying you can give me one and I can play the same thing. I can do that on the cheapest guitar you'll give me, as long as it's in tune, right? Here's the thing. When you're learning, you're only going to be able to get so far on a cheap guitar. Why? Well, because it's made cheaply. It's harder to play. Typically, the strings are either too high or too low to the neck, to the fretboard, which is what this is. And it makes it harder to play. If they're too high, you got to press down too hard. If they're too low, you're going to get a real ugly twang. It's not going to sound right, even though you're holding your fingers in the right, and your hand in the right pattern. It's still not going to sound right. And so you're not even sure that you're positioned right. So, but you can start. Here's the thing. If you don't know that you're even going to like to practice, because the key thing, folks, I can show you everything I know, but if you don't practice, you're not going to learn how to play the guitar. But even with practice on a cheaply made guitar, you're only going to get so far. You can learn the very basics, and you're going to have to move on up. But if you're not sure that you're going to like the instrument or like practicing or playing, then why go and spend a lot of money on an expensive guitar? My recommendation is this. It's going to run you probably $200 to $300, and you're going to buy an entry-level guitar. If you already know you like the guitar, or you know you're going to be practicing it no matter what, then yeah, go out and spend anywhere between $500 to $1,000 is what I would recommend. This one, I think I paid $700 or a little over $700 for it. It's a Taylor. It said Cutaway. It's got a beautiful sound. I like it. You can plug it directly into an amplifier. It's got a pickup on it, and I like that too. So for what I use it for, I like it. So having said that, now you've got your guitar. The next thing is you need to know how to tune a guitar. Again, you can practice all you want. I can show you everything you want, but if your guitar is out of tune, it's just not going to work. Now here's the thing. How do you tune a guitar if you don't know how to play a guitar? Well, you can go online to guitar tuners. There's a bunch of different programs, and start with the very first string, the 6th string, or the 1st string, depending on how you want to look at it. It's an E string. You have an E string on top, you have an E string on the bottom, and then the strings in between. But on the guitar tuner online, it'll show you the 6 strings, and just tune it by that. But assuming you've gotten to that far, and now you've got your guitar, you've got it tuned. Now you need to decide, I guess, what kind of music you want to play. So I'm just going to give you some quick examples. If you want to play country music, very simple. Off somewhere the music's playing, soft and low. Very simple. You know, you see that a lot, right? Strumming. It's a little boring, I think, but it's one of the easiest ways to learn how to play the guitar. For example, that particular guitar, or that particular song or piece that I was playing, is just 3 chords, E. There I had a B7, and it may have an A in there. I'm not sure. I got to look for it. But if you just learn the 2 chords, and again, so when I say the chord of E, all you got to do is go online, look for the chord of E on a guitar. It'll show you where to place the fingers, which is right there. And then the strumming is just down, up, down, up. The whole song. Off somewhere the music's playing, soft and B7. Again, go online, see how to make a B7 chord. Very, very simple. Same strum pattern. And another holds the one that I love, back to E. Folks, if you can learn that, now it takes time. You got to practice that. You got to learn how to do the E. You got to learn how to do the B7. You got to learn how to switch between the 2 without making that many mistakes. E, B7, E, B7, E, B7, E, B7. If you can just practice, you don't even have to strum the guitar. Just practice doing that. Because believe me, that takes time to be able to learn how to do that. And later on you can... So when you first start out, it's going to sound like this. It's just going to sound terrible. But as you practice and you learn how to do the switching, it'll get easier. Switch different chords wherever you want. All right? Practice that. So here's the thing. Now you know more or less what kind of guitar to get. You know how to tune a guitar, although you still have to actually do it. And you've got a couple of chords that you can practice. E, B7. And you know you need to be able to switch kind of flawlessly to make it sound nice, right? That I've just shown you, this first lesson, is gonna take some time to learn. But it's no more difficult than the way I just explained it. It really is that easy. It just takes your part to practice and actually be able to do it. So that's kind of the country style. I like where I pick it more. That's a little bit different style. Same 2 chords, by the way, E, B7. If I switch chords, you can also play it kind of like a blues. bit different, right? But you can also do that. As you get more advanced, you learn different techniques. And that's one thing I will say, is learn different techniques, try different things, try music that you may not necessarily be into. But if you can learn something from it, try it. You may never play a Mexican ranchera song, a mariachi type song, but if you're really interested in the guitar, you may learn something from that. Some of the best guitar players in the world are mariachi guitar players. Just absolutely beautiful music, shifting different things. I don't particularly like to play that kind of music, but I have learned some things from the mariachi, especially with the switching, the transitioning and the switching into different chords, different keys. So that's good. All right. So now we know more or less the basics of buying a guitar. We know more or less how to tune a guitar. We got a couple of chords there that we want to practice, and we want to practice a simple song. I don't want to tell you to practice Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or something like that. Pick a song you like. Search for the keys or the chords of that song on a guitar. Learn those chords. So whatever song you know, let's, what do we like? Johnny Cash, right? Folsom Prison Blues. There you go. Key of E. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. All it is key of E. It does go to an A. It's going to go to a B7. It's going to go back to an E. 3 chords. Learn those 3 chords. You'll be able to play Folsom Prison Blues. Now you got other things there, like the lead. That's different. That you just got to kind of listen to it. If you don't know how to read music, which I don't, but like I said, playing by ear, you can learn any song you want to learn. It just takes time, takes practice, takes stubbornness sometimes when you get a really difficult piece, and consistency, and just keep trying. That is really all there is to playing the guitar. It's not any more difficult than that. It's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a month. It'll probably, if you practice daily, 5, 6, 7 days a week, which is what I did when I was 16 when I really wanted to learn. Took me about 6 months before it started to sound like, hey, I'm making music. So don't get discouraged. Now here's the thing. If 6 months have passed and you can't get anything out of the guitar, reflect on what you've been doing. You say, well, you know what? I practiced 2 weeks ago for 10 minutes and I'm practicing today for 30 minutes. You know, look at what you're doing. But if you're really trying every day, and I would say a minimum of anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour every single day for the first 6 months, I think you're going to be surprised with the little bit that I've shown you how much you can progress on the guitar. And then if you get more lessons, you'll only advance even faster and even better. But with the little bit that I've already shown you, believe it or not, if you buy a decent guitar and you know how to tune a guitar, you'd be surprised. You may be somewhere and a guitar player that knows how to play doesn't know how to tune his own guitar, and they may ask you, can you tune my guitar for me? Happens to me all the time. And I'm talking about guys that can play much better than I can. They don't know how to tune a guitar. So it's critical that you learn how to do that. And then find a song you like, make it an easy song, look at it online, see that it's only got 2 or 3 chords. You don't want to start with a song that's got 7, 8, 9 chords and it switches to a different key and back again, and it's got a bridge and this and that. Stick with something really simple just to learn it. Couple of, maybe 2 or 3 chords, no more than that. And then learn how to do the switching from those 3 chords really well. That's the key too. And then make sure when you're learning how to do a chord, let's say the key of E or the chord of E, it's got to sound like that. Every string, you have to be able to hear it and it's got to sound clear. If it sounds like this, that's how it's going to sound when you start. Don't get discouraged. But in time, now when you first start out, you got to kind of mash your fingers down. But with time, it's just a real simple. Just real simple. And you'll get the hang of it. I guarantee you will. Probably 98% of you will. There's always a couple of folks. But like I said, it usually goes back to how much, or should I say how little, they practiced. And you'll get to have it. If you have any questions, by all means, drop me a note. I'll be happy to help you. But this is the one free lesson. I hope you got something out of it. If nothing else, motivation to get you to finally try and learn how to play the guitar. By all means, I'll help you any way I can. Hobby Horse Ralph here, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.